Alrighty, guys and gals, what is going on, all you beautiful people? Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to the Misty Mountain Gaming Channel. Big E right here up on the screen. That is Mr. Lucius. This is our Human Warlock. This is our Hardcore Permadeath Challenge. We're in Classic Era. This is Jug Crush. This is our demon that we summoned to do our bidding. Anyway, we are currently here in Lac Madon. I think we're about finished up here. Yeah. Any old who? I picked up a quest from this freak right here. Well, this dwarf. His other quest is too low level. Well, he has two other quests. One's too low level. The other one he has is to go to Steel Grills Depot in Ironforge. Actually, you know what? Let me pick it up real quick, and we'll touch base on it.
See you soon.
Anyway. Here's what we're going to do this episode, ladies and gentlemen. So the quest we just picked up from that dwarf was report to Mountaineer Rockgar. It says, Mountaineer Rockgar is looking for volunteers for a mission through Dun Algaz into the wetlands. If you want to get your boots wet, then speak to him. We're going to do that because here's my game plan. I don't know if you remember last episode, I was trying to figure out the best way for us to get the succubus thing down, and I had completely forgotten about this boat here. One of my subs, TB space B, I believe that is who it was. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. I totally forgot about this. And they reminded me that I could take the boat from here in Menethil Harbor. It goes here to Darkshire, and then we can just run down through Ashenvale. Shouldn't be an issue. Kind of where I was thinking about coming anyway, and then we can go down here through the Barrens. That's how we'll get our succubus. Probably not going to do that this episode, but we are going to go that route, and we're going to get into Ashenvale and do some quests there. But for now, we're going to run to the north. We're going to run through the Gauntlet, the Algaz Gauntlet, take the Northern Pass, and I think he'll give us a quest to kill some ogres in this area here, and then we'll run down through here. And we'll be careful, but we should be fine. You know, we don't have that. Anyway, I hope everybody is doing all right. Surely do. It's been a day or two since I've been on. I had a bunch of videos saved up. Had to take a little time off. It's good, you know. I don't want to get burned out. Got several Let's Plays going on. I also have a full-time job. Also dealing with car trouble. It's been a nightmare. Has been a nightmare. And I'm contemplating whether I want to share something with you guys because I'll probably be on a rant about it. But we are going to be running here for a minute. Anyway, you guys may or may not know, I was in a car accident and my car, it wasn't totaled, but it was really fucked up. The passenger side, I got hit on the passenger side. I also had some damage on my driver's side of the car. We want to go this way. Yeah. Wait. Yeah, we want to go this way. No, close that. What am I doing? Yeah. Anyway, it's been in the shop for just over 2 weeks. Is that a herb? Yes, it is. I finally got the car back. It's been repaired. It looks great. The guy did an amazing job. So the front quarter panel had to be replaced, the rear quarter panel had to be replaced, and the door had to be replaced. And we had to do some body work on the other side. Also, the mirror had to be replaced. The glass had to be replaced. A whole bunch of stuff. Finally got the car back. And I was driving it home the other day. I had to ride my bike to get it because I only have one vehicle. It's a couple of miles. I didn't care. I would have rode up a mountain to get it. We're going to take this. We know what it is. We would need to kill 8 scouts and 6 grunts. They're up this way. So, driving it home, it was chilly. I'd been on the bike. I turned on the heat. Now, I've been having trouble with my heat before the accident. So I knew something was going wrong. And it didn't overheat, but the temperature gauge went way up one time. That never happens in that car. It's always the same. The temperature is always the same. This was shortly before the accident, and it's not like I was ignoring it, but I was like, well, I guess I'm going to have to look at that. Anyway, it was like the day after that I got into the accident. So anyway, on the way home from picking up the car, the heat was not working. And I got about halfway home, and I looked down, and my car was almost in the red, the temperature. So you do not want that to happen. If your car is ever overheating, well, one of the things you can do, if for some reason you can't pull over, turn your heater on and turn it on high, because it'll take some of the heat off of the engine for you. But my heater wasn't working, so I couldn't do that. So you pull over to the side. If not, you can literally crack the heads. Major fucking problems if that happens. So I knew better. Anyway, I had to wait to the car. I had to wait for it to cool down. I finally got it home. It took 3 times as long because, I had to wait 15, 20 minutes for the engine to get cool. Fortunately, it's freezing outside, so it doesn't take too long for it to get cool. I finally got it home. Anyway, for the last couple of days, I have been trying to figure out what in the fuck is going on with it. So I waited all that time, got my car back, and it's not drivable. I can't drive it. It's too risky. You can cause major damage with heat in the engine. So, anyway, so a lot of times when you have no heat and your car is overheating, that is usually an indicator that your heating core, that can be one of the prime indicators that your heating core is gone bad. All your heating core is, for anybody who's not knowledgeable or doesn't know, your heating core is basically just a small radiator, and it's in the firewall. It's behind your dash in that area, and all it does is circulate radiator fluid from your engine. It circulates it through these little tubes, and there's a blower motor that blows across it. That's how you get heat. It takes from the heat. If that thing goes bad, you will have no heat in your car, and your car can overheat if the radiator is clogged. That's a common thing. And sometimes you'll have radiator fluid. You'll notice like a sweet smell in your car. If you check the passenger side, it could be wet with radiator fluid. We've got 2 of these ads on us. I do need to pay attention here. Looks like we're okay here. Anyway, it's not the heating core. Damn, where the fuck did he come from? It's not the heating core. I verified it. There's plenty of flow through it. So I was thinking, okay, thermostat might be bad. I replaced the thermostat. Nope. If the thermostat is bad in your car, the thermostat opens and closes depending on how hot or how cool the car is. And you can test a thermostat by boiling it in a pan of water. Anyway, I didn't want to. It's an older car. I was like, you know what? I'll buy a new thermostat. They're really inexpensive. Put it in. Same problem. The fans are not kicking on. That's why my car is overheating, by the way. The fans of the car are not heating, are not spinning. That's how that car cools down. It's a bottom feeder, they call it. So it's got this flap on the bottom of the car, and when I'm driving high speeds, it catches the air and pushes it up onto the radiator. But you also need fans to take that heat off. So, not the thermostat. So at this point, I'm like, okay, I'm not a trained mechanic, but I'm also not an idiot. I know a little bit about cars and can figure most stuff out. In fact, I do most of the work on my car myself if I can. That, brakes, spark plugs, change the oil, things like that, I can do it. It's a little bit harder for me to do that stuff these days because I don't have a garage and I don't have the tools that I used to. But anyway. So it finally dawned on me about 5-6 years ago when I was living in Virginia before I moved out here to New Mexico. I had this problem. My car overheated, and it was in the summer, so heat, the heat wasn't an issue. Anyway, it turns out there is an inline fuse. It's just a little 15 amp fuse, and it had blown. And it took me a couple of days. This was, 5 years ago to figure it out. I replaced that inline fuse. It's under the engine bay. I don't know if it's aftermarket. I don't know. There's a lot of customization on that car, so I'm not sure. I replaced the fuse. Problems fixed instantly. Fans cut on. And I've got two fans on the radiator, and they're high speed and low speed. And the way you can test the low speed fans will cut on if you get into your car and you turn the air conditioner on. Your fan will cut on if you've got like a multi-speed fan. And I guess I don't know how it works if you just have one speed. I'm assuming it cuts on. Anyway, it cuts on when it gets a higher temperature. That's when the high speed fans will cut on. Anyway, that was the problem originally, and it dawned on me, wait a minute, let me check that fuse. I checked it, sure enough, the fuse was blown. I was like, great. Okay, I've done a lot of extra bullshit here, replacing the thermostat and, checking out the heater core. It's just a fuse. I replaced the fuse, I actually didn't even start the car up. I turned it to the on position, and I heard the fuse pop. Pop from inside the car. So at this point, that's about as far as I can go. I know how to check fuses. I've got a test light. I've got an amp meter and things like that. I couldn't find any point where it was overloading or what was going down. So, I'm super fucking frustrated, right? I've not had my car for like 16 days. And now I still don't have it because of this fucking overheat problem. So, anyway, I couldn't figure out what was going on. So I took it to a local shop because I don't really have any friends. I don't have any friends here or family here. If I was in Virginia, I've got my aunt's husband. I call Uncle Eddie. That guy can fix anything. If I was there, he could fix this. But anyway, I took it to the shop. It's like $125 fucking dollars for diagnostic. Which, by the way, all a diagnostic is they hook a scanner up to your car. You can buy a handheld one. They've got a really high-end one, a better one. Why it costs $125? Because they can. So the guy told me, he goes, so here's the problem with your car. He goes, your radiator fans are going bad, and it's causing high resistance, which is blowing the fuse. And that made sense to me, right? That made perfect sense. I didn't think to check that. I probably could have looked up how to check it. So I don't know how he checked it, but I just took his word for it because, I kind of want to trust people. It's hard to trust people, but... So this was a couple of days. This is actually last week. So I'm like, okay. So I knew this was going to be expensive, but anyway, so a couple of hours go by and I'm there, and the mechanic basically told me, he's like, yeah, so this is the problem with your car. What I'm going to do, I'll talk to the service manager, let him know, and then he'll get an estimate for you, for parts and all that. So it's like, okay, so I'm waited a couple hours, haven't heard anything. So I finally went up to the counter and I was like, hey, what's going on with my car? And he's like, oh, like he was surprised. I was like, oh, let me go talk to the mechanic. I was like, well, he was supposed to already have spoken to you. And he goes, oh, well, he went out to lunch. Okay, yeah, I just got all day to fucking sit around in a auto short. Anyway, the guy finally comes back. He goes to speak to him, and the guy says, you could just go ahead and take the car home. By the way, getting the car to the auto shop was a nightmare because I can only drive the car for about a mile, and then I have to pull over and wait for the engine to cool down. But I didn't want to pay for a tow, okay? I just don't have that kind of money to throw around. And plus, my car, 4th-gen Camaros are a pain in the ass to tow. It's a nightmare. What do we need? We do need grunts. So I had to drive it. I brought my bicycle. I put my bike in the back of the car and drove it up there, thinking if they need the car overnight or something, or a couple of days, I'll ride my bike home. Anyway, the guy's like, yeah, you can just drive it home. What I'll do is I'll I'll call around and I'll get a price for a radiator fan for you. And he goes, I'll call Chevrolet and get a good one. And then I'll call you back and let you know what it's going to be. And so I was like, well, you know, like I said, I'm not an idiot. They're going to overcharge, especially if you get a part from Chevrolet, from the manufacturer. You're going to pay $300-$400 for a fucking radiator fan. Okay. And they're probably going to tack on a little bit as well. They're going to make as much money off you as they can. So I'm like, I just told him, it's like, okay, go ahead and call me. But in the back of my mind, it's like, I'm going to go home. I'll find my own parts. So I got home. Again, a nightmare. You know, it takes 4 times as long to get home because I have to pull the fucking car over, wait for it to cool off. Do not take a chance of overheating your engine, guys. I was very careful. So I looked up. I found a fan, exact match. Exact replacement for $160. Okay. The fan he wanted to put in was $385. So that fan probably cost $200 something bucks, and he's tacking on to the fucking price, man. Anyway, God. We need 2 more grunts here. These all scouts? There's a grunt. Let's man up here. Anyway, so all this is... I'm telling this story after all this happened. It didn't happen in this exact order. Because the guy never called me. He just never called. It was 2 days. So I finally called him back, and I was like, hey, so-and-so was supposed to be checking the price. The guy goes, oh, right, like he forgot. It was the same guy. He's like, well, the mechanic's out to lunch. Same thing he said last time. When he gets back, I'll talk to him. No. He was just trying to find a price for the fan. That's right. He was just trying to find a price for the fan. He never called me back. So I had to call them back. And I was like, hey, what's going on with the part? A different guy answered the phone. That's what happened the second time. A different guy answered the phone. Or what happened the first time. And he goes, well, when he gets back, I'll have him call you. And I was like, okay, well, make sure you do it because it's already been like, you know, it's been 2 fucking days. I didn't say, you know, I was trying to be cool about it, but I was, in my mind, I was not cool about it. Anyway, never got a call. Another day went by, no call. So I called back the second time, and I got the original guy that was working with this, guy named Jose. That doesn't matter what his fucking name is. But he was like, oh, Eric, right, the guy with the... I forgot. He literally said, I forgot. Man, so I'm like, dude... like, I don't know, man. I didn't even really know what to say to that. So I told him, I said, hey, look, I went ahead and bought a radiator fan. It's for my car. I didn't tell him the price or anything like that. And he goes, oh, well, I did get a price for you. And he told me the price. So the total price that they wanted with the fan and 3 hours of labor was almost $700. Okay. Doesn't include, I had to pay after tax $125 for the service charge, just bringing it into the fucking thing. So you're talking $800, man. $700-800. Where the fuck are the grunts at, dude? There's one up here. We just need this last one. So I told him, I was like, look, man, I just don't have that kind of money, you know? Like, I'm a working man. I live check to check. I just can't fucking afford it. So I told him, I was like, I got my own fan. How much would it be for you guys to install the fan that I have? So the first thing he doesn't want to do that. Are you serious? Can I not loot this? Okay, fuck it. We're done. So he didn't want to do that. But anyway, he finally agrees, like reluctantly. Like he's doing me a huge favor. Because they're not making the money that they want. So I said, how much would it be? Give me the price for you to install a new radiator fan in my car. And he goes, okay, well, let me talk to the mechanic real quick. So I was like, okay. I'm on the phone. I'm on hold for about 15 minutes. He finally comes back on. He goes, okay, Eric, here's what we can do. Like he's fucking negotiating. He's like, the mechanic says it's going to be 3 hours of labor to install it for you. And he gave me a price. He gave me a price of like $400, just over $400. So still pricey. And that's because of the 3 hours labor, right? So they would have made like an extra $250, $300 or so dollars off of the fan horse shit. Hang on, guys. I'll be right back. Okay, guys. We're back. Okay. That's interesting. We did finish this, right? Let's finish. I'm a little bit distracted. I think I am going to have to call the episode here. I do have something just came up, and it actually relates to my car. So we're going to finish this quest up. I just think we have to run through here. We have to traverse Algaz. It was just kind of a complaining episode anyway, wasn't it? So anyway, I've got my landlord has two guys, her friends, apparently really good with cars. And they're going to come over and see if they can help me figure out what the hell's going on. I will update you guys when I finish. Anyway, we are going to call it right here. I'm going to hide in this little hidey hole. This feels like a really bad episode. Anyway, I've got a lot of stuff going on. Thank you guys very much for hanging out with me. I appreciate it. You guys take care. Mr. Lucius and myself will catch you guys in the next one. Take care and peace.